line. Let me introduce resource speakers, Desmond and Sujiva. Desmond, as a professional marketer and a hotelier with expert knowledge, has over 40 years of experience in tourism and hospitality industry. Sujiva, a professional hotelier who switched to travel just after his graduation. He is a fellow member of Ceylon Hotel School Graduate Association. He has been in the industry almost 30 years. While Club Holidays Delhi is hosting this event. Mr. Aninda is a founder of Wild Club Holidays. He has been in the industry for last 12 years. Mr. Amit is a co-founder of Wild Club Holidays. He has been in the industry almost 10 years. Yeah, Desmond, now you can go ahead with your discussions.
You can start again, I
Yes,
think.
I just wanted to give some first-hand information about Sri Lanka at present. How safe it is to travel to Sri Lanka, because I have never heard in the past that any tourists have been harmed in Sri Lanka. So you just, if you could emphasize on what situation is it safe to travel now?
Of course, they say it's very much safe to travel in Sri Lanka. I mean, I think it's a very good question. That's the first question that somebody's in their mind when they travel to another country. The safety comes first. That's the first question that they have in mind.
Correct.
So I mean, as far as Sri Lanka is concerned, we never heard any stories that there was an issue with the safety. So if you think of last couple of years, but apart from that, I mean, like Sri Lankan government has taken a lot of steps to assure the safety of the travelers, tourists who are traveling to Sri Lanka. Especially the first number one thing that they have done, they have empowered all the tourist police. Right. So then there's no problem. I mean, island wide. Okay.
So in every city you have a tourist police.
Exactly. And the second thing is that they have empowered all the associations who are related to tourism. Like Sri Lanka Travel Association, Sri Lanka Driver Association, Sri Lanka Guide Association. Like those associations are also taking part and assuring the safety of tourists. Right. And the third part of it is the community. So the community is involved in this business as well.
So you mean the villages, right?
Exactly, because that's their livelihood, So they are depending on the tourism. So and now the best thing is about that Sri Lanka government has declared tourism zones.
Right.
So there are particular zones and they have given the empowerment to this community. So these are quite informal, but there's a big network, right? They are assuring the safety of all the tourists,
especially in these villages.
Especially in the village. So that's have been given a clear introduction that Sri Lanka is the safest country to travel. In fact, certain magazines, the world class magazine has come up and said the Sri Lanka, yes, travel to Sri Lanka is the safest country as far as you could think of the safety. And apart from that, so we have seen the moments, the arrivals which has happened in the last month increased actually. It's about 40,000 people have arrived, mostly from Europe. Yes. But out of all these 40,000, it's amazing to see that it's 10,000 are from our neighbor India.
So that's good.
so
that's great. Yes.
That's quite a nice achievement. And I would say the safety, yes, you can guarantee that Sri Lanka is the safest place to travel.
Correct. So, but then what about the fuel situation? Like most of the countries, I know some countries are also having issues with fuel, but presently about Sri Lankan fuel situation.
To tell you frankly, the Indian Credit Line has given us the fuel, the amazing support from India. Yes. And apart, I mean, like, yes, we had situation. I mean,
that's only
couple of months we had a situation that where we had a scarcity of fuel. But after that, there was the government has streamlined and they have introduced the QR code to the public. And then the tourists, of course, they have prioritized all the tourists who are coming down to Sri Lanka.
So they have a QR system for a foreigner or a tourist who is coming to Sri Lanka on self-drive or self-riding, right?
Yes. I mean, those people who are coming direct, there's a chance of, getting the sort of a card in from the airport, but you have to pay in dollars. and that you can pump the fuel in anywhere around the island, any station. And apart from that, I would like to say, emphasize where, as far as our normal tourists are coming, who are coming through the travel agents, being benefited, because there are about 3 government entities has taken step to supply and provide fuel throughout their journey. So especially Sri Lanka Tourism Board and Sri Lanka Army and Sri Lanka Transport Board. The collaboration of these 3 entities will give enough supply of fuel during the tour. So I don't think that there shouldn't be any hesitant whatsoever when somebody wants to travel Sri Lanka.
That's great.
Yes, and I don't think that you have heard anybody who was stranded, without fuel.
Not even
any
during
tourist,
the crisis.
even during the crisis. So I think our people are really pretty much hospitality. Like they really exercise this hospitality in Sri Lanka. So I don't think that you have any problem with the fuel.
So what about the transport then?
Transport, yes, actually, transport, especially the public transport, has improved with this development.
I hear of this Odyssey. What is this Odyssey?
The Odyssey is about, the luxury trains have been introduced between Colombo and Adelaide, and
Kandy.
Yes, and Kandy and Noorali and Colombo Kandy.
And
There are
Goa.
about 3 trains. Yeah, they have introduced their luxury trains, and mostly we had an issue with getting train tickets to Adelaide. Because there are about 10 to, maybe probably about 20 seats available in the first
Now
class.
you have an entire train.
Now you have an entire luxury train that they can witness
Traveling
this.
daily, right?
Yes, exactly, and they can witness this scenic journey. That's an amazing, to travel through the train as well.
So you have.
That's a very good development, this one.
Also, you have the highway buses, right? Traveling.
Yeah, there's a lot of
So
luxury
there is
buses
public
also.
transport. You
Yeah.
have plenty of public transport.
Public transport is being developed and improved a lot after this incident.
If
So
you
the
don't
people,
want to travel on private,
yes,
you can have
exactly,
public
yeah, the
transport.
people are using a lot of public transportation
And
at the
it's
moment.
cheap, right? Much
It's
cheap.
quite cheap actually, and it's very reasonable to people to travel in public transportation. And the fleet, like there are a lot of suppliers who do the transportation for travel agents. They have normal sedan to limousine, and all the luxury coaches are available. So there's no question about the movements and the transportation.
Right.
So you will not stranded. I'm sure that you can go to your next destination without any hesitant, and there will be safe journey. I think you will enjoy being in Sri Lanka.
Definitely, yes.
That's the other thing, like now since Desi is pretty much engaged with hotels, and then his expertise of hotels, so I would say that he will definitely be able to enlighten you with what's happening with the hotels. So
Yes,
I think he will definitely give you an overview what's happening with the hotels at the moment.
Yes, I think what happened with COVID and before and after, the hotels had a lot of time during this period, a lot of time to refurbish, to reopen. Some who have been closed, they reopen, refurbish, and they're running in full swing at the moment.
That's great.
And the other thing is, you see the top brands like Sheraton, Courtyard Marriott, the Intercontinental, Ritz-Carlton, all these are due to open next year. Like the first hotel will be opening in January, that is the Courtyard Marriott, and the Intercontinental is following after that. So they have done their homework. So I think this is the correct time for them to open. And presently, with the domestic tourists, Sri Lankan, traveling during the weekends, most of the hotels are running on very high occupancy.
That's great.
Especially,
Sounds interesting. Yeah.
Especially the hotels out of Colombo. Even Colombo hotels, the occupancy is healthy, but during weekends. So I think this is the best time for a tourist to arrive, or anybody to come to country, because the hotels are offering massive discounts. So I think this is good for tourists.
Definitely, yeah.
They gain massively. And the other thing is the rupee devaluating against the dollar. So that gain is also to the value is going to the tourist. So you have a massive
that's a great
gain
thing,
there.
yeah.
So I think this is the best time.
Best time, yeah.
So
I would say it's the best time.
especially if you take the past seasons, like before 2019, during December, if you want to come, the hotels check their prices high rocketed. But today they're offering so much of discounts. So I think this is the
I
best
think
time.
I think for my knowledge now there's no super peak at
There's
this
no
time.
peak, one peak, no peak, nothing. So,
So
it's just come.
you have very good deal actually during
At
the
present, yes,
Christmas and New Year especially. I think we were at the opening at the hotel, Earth Regent in Negombo.
Yes, that was
That's
last
about
week,
90 rooms hotel, which
beautiful,
is
beautifully done.
it's been done last Sunday. So I think that everybody has done their homework.
And now
They have seen the potential of tourists who are coming back to Sri Lanka. So
Yes.
it's a good time for people to look at that aspect.
I also want them to go at these prices because it's good for us and good for the tourists also.
Yeah, one more important thing, as far as our market is concerned, India. So, but see, everybody is talking about scarcity of food and the safety of food.
Foods, whatever
So what
the
do you-
food we want, we go to India and buy. We just bring it from India. At present, India is supplying a lot of food items to Sri Lanka. So the hotels, the tourist board and the government have given special permissions for hotels to bring whatever food they want. And we have private suppliers who are importing food. And I don't see any, because anyway the hotels are running on high occupancy during weekends. So even we don't see anybody starving in Sri Lanka. So
Yeah, I think that's the
Plenty
message
of
that
food,
we want to send it to everyone. You
Yeah.
have never seen a tourist have been stranded or starving in Sri Lanka.
we have Indian restaurants everywhere now.
So yeah, so actually, I think it's the best time to people to travel. It's a value for money. I think we are just sending out the right message. The food is not a concern in Sri Lanka.
So the
So
dollar, the rupee devaluating is the dollar gaining. So a lot of, I think, tourists is gaining by that. So it's value. Lot of
that
value.
sounds interesting. So anyone who's looking at the holiday in Sri Lanka, yes, that's the best time for you. You can travel in Sri Lanka.
And Sri Lankan, I saw Sri Lankan Airlines offering a lot of discounts for Indian travel.
I think the Sri Lankan airline has come up with some
Amazing
promotions,
prices.
until next November. So I think you can
next year November.
Yes, next year November.
So they have given massive discount. 21,000. I saw INR up and down from.
That's from Hyderabad.
Hyderabad. I think they will offer for the other destinations.
Yeah, definitely from Delhi and Mumbai.
And we are pushing for that. So we are pushing to give them discounts. So hopefully, I think there's some Indian.
And actually, there was another big forum has happened
Yes.
in last Saturday. That's all Sri Lankan airline GS have been come down to Sri Lanka. They have
Correct,
They
yeah.
have offered the night stay, and they've been doing all these promotions. And it's a big forum happened in Sigiriya at Alia Hotel.
Correct. Yeah.
Yep.
So there was about 200 plus agents.
Agents have come down from like Middle East, India, and
India, mainly from India.
mainly from India. Yes.
So then, what about the sightseeing and places to visit?
The sightseeing, yes, I would say like sightseeing are open for after COVID.
After COVID, no?
Yeah, there
Yes.
was a lot of guidelines are given
Right,
because
yes,
of the
yes,
COVID.
yes.
Now Sri Lanka is a COVID-free country, so they have released all the guidelines. I don't think that you have any issue with the
With the COVID.
COVID like in Sri Lanka. So there's no situation if Sri Lanka is concerned, everything is going very smooth. So yes, in fact, some of the new attractions are also being added, like Lotus Tower in Colombo, which is as a revolving restaurant as well, and the panoramic view of Colombo city. So you can, it's similar to KL Tower in Kuala Lumpur. So I think there are a lot of development that happens, and then the nightlife has developed again.
Especially the casino.
Yeah, the casino has doing an amazing,
lot of entertainment.
yeah, amazing job with the Indian market. I would say they
So
already,
you have food, beverage, and free entertainment.
and there are some Indian celebrities that have also been there that you can engage with them. Yes, and every evening, every weekend, there's something happening at the casinos. So it's the best thing that you can move forward with. If you think of Sri Lanka, yes, your nightlife is also
It's the
being
best time to
yeah,
travel, yeah.
exactly.